I made a similar video to this one about a year ago, and before I begin, I just want to say I'm not espousing any political philosophy. I'm not talking about any human rights. I'm not talking about changing any laws, repealing any amendments, or anything like that whatsoever. I'm just stating a bunch of opinions. What people want to make of those is their own affair. Now that Arizona has happened and we've had the shooting there, gun control is all to go again as a discussion. Personally, here are my thoughts on the issue. We don't need them. In Canada here, we've never had a Second Amendment. Such a thing doesn't exist. So even if we just keep things the way they are and don't change anything, we still have fairly strict gun laws. And I personally am in favor of strict gun control for the following reasons. First of all, handguns are useless. We don't need them. We don't need them for anything. Handguns have one purpose, and that's to kill people. That's to subdue people. I can see the logic behind the police having them, but perhaps if we had fewer guns in circulation, we could even say that the police didn't need them. But unfortunately, right now, as things stand, we're going to have cops, armed cops, for the foreseeable future. Anyone living in a city does not need a gun in a metropolitan urban area. No, don't need a gun at all. They don't really serve any purpose whatsoever. In fact, I would say they're detrimental to personal safety, because if I have a gun, so does the criminal. If guns are not available in the larger society, then the criminal has less of a chance of having a gun. That doesn't really mean that I'm all for disarming people who live outside of cities, or target shooters even. If you want to go target shooting, that's fine by me. Leave your gun in a locked armory at the target shooting area, at the rifle range or whatever. Leave it there in a secure, guarded place, like a military armory. Go out there. I would even be open to people playing with heavy machine guns out there if I knew that they were safe and that nobody was going to run off with them and take them off the range. That has yet to be studied here seriously in Canada, and I don't think it's likely to be done anytime soon. People that live in rural, isolated areas, I believe, should have the right to firearms. They have to worry about all kinds of things, like dangerous animals, first of all. And they also have to deal with the fact that they're often quite far from the nearest police station, and it might take the cops a while to get out there. So if some loon or a group of loons descends upon your house, doesn't matter if the cops respond immediately, it still might take a long time for them to get there. So in my opinion, people in rural areas should have the right to have firearms, i.e. a bolt-action single-shot rifle, which is really ultimately enough to defend yourself against just about any sort of threat that you're likely to face in Canada. And they should be licensed, just like anything else. You should have to take a course in weapons handling and respect of weapons, this sort of thing. But I don't believe in picking on rural people out of some sense of ideology. In many ways, rural people need guns. They have to have them. It's just part of rural life. So people are going to have to make a case as to the utility of weapons, of handguns, automatic weapons, whatever, before I'll consider pushing to have Canada's gun laws changed. But what goes on in the United States especially is not for me to even comment on unless an American asks me. Americans have the right to live under whatever laws, whatever constitution they see fit to live under. It's just not my business to tell them how to manage their own affairs. And the same goes for any other country. But again, as far as my situation and the country that I live in, along with 75% of Canadians, my views are quite clear. No guns. We don't need them. Thank you.